Good evening, everybody. It's a beautiful 20th of January, 2026. Coming to this episode of the Crusty podcast, episode 393. That's right. NWO, pew pews, and politics, and of course the WEF. Oh my God, what are people doing? The sheer audacity and the chaos that surrounds us every day, ladies and gentlemen. Listener and viewer discretion is advised because I will smoke cigarettes, swear, and be my usual self, condemning and shunning the leaders that be. All that and more come out the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Please stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Oh, yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues, and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, your episode 393 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Hope you've all had a pretty good weekend so far. The drama's just starting. Hello, everyone. How you been? It's been a while since we talked last. Pardon the lighting here. I'm trying to something else different here for the podcast for all you wonderful people out there. And just a reminder, too, if you like to hear what you see, click like, subscribe, and share this content all over your social media platforms, too. And a special thank you out there to a couple of people in Australia that have downloaded my stuff. Thank you to my friends in Australia. You guys are amazing. Right? Especially a few more Europeans checking out the Crusty Canuck podcast. Hope all is well in Europe as we speak. Anyway, carrying on with today's headlines. Of course, there's been a lot of issues in Canada in regards to that's what's happening with gun laws, gun rights, what have you. A lot of politics involved, a lot of schmoozing, but there's a lot of great people out there that are standing up for us, gun owners, hunters alike, trying to get things on the go. And the government still thinks that private gun ownership is still a problem in this country. Oh, it's wrong. Anyhow, in light of what's happening in Venezuela and what is also going on around the globe with Donald Trump and his stupidity in regards to harassing Greenland, I don't know what to say. But I'm not going to get into that too. I don't necessarily agree with Donald Trump and his politics as we speak when it comes to bullying other nations into giving us territory, giving him territory. However, we'll deal with that at another time. In the meantime, let's talk about what Mr. Mark Carney said in China. Okay, now I got a little blurb here from a TikToker. It's quite interesting what he says. I didn't queue up the video per se, but Mark Carney, what a beauty! Yeah, I just queued it up here. But I will let you listen, my wonderful audience, and you decide what the consensus usually is between Canadians and Mark Carney, what he said in China. In China. Pay attention.
EA tells everybody on his platform to becoming PM that he's going to be the only guy to deal with Big Bad Donnie. Well, he said he'd have a deal done by July 1st, Canada Day there. Hey, well, nothing's done yet. Brookfield stocks went up 65% since he took office. He said he was going to get more global trade and investment into Canada. Well, $85 billion is fucked off out of the country since he took charge. You know, he's in love with the CCP, the communist fucks out of China there, telling him about the New World Order. He's got the military saluting them as they come in, you know. It's wild, man. It's just, you know, white people make up 15% of the world population, and we've got every other race coming into Canada, flooding the border, and we got to assimilate to their culture. Well, fuck that. Grab a hockey stick and get a Timmy's and throw a dip in your fucking lip. It's time to rock and roll. If you don't want to be Canadian, get the fuck out. No dude about it, man.
That was Long Rod. That was Long Rod. What's his name? Yeah, sorry. Lord Long Rod. You can follow him on TikTok. Just a great little blurb there, too. So it gives you an insight. And I'm not saying he represents all Canadians, but I would say that's the healthy consensus out there when it comes to what Mark Carney said about New World Order. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound something that we heard back in the 90s? George Bush Sr. saying that to justify the invasion of Kuwait? Makes you think, right? Now, anytime a politician says anything in regards to New World Order, who's going to carry on the order? Who is going to make that a reality? Who is going to implement said order? Globalists? Mr. Carney's in Switzerland right now, in Davos, talking about diversifying trading and how the Canadian economy is doing so well and how everything is just peachy keen in Canada, number 2 in the G7. Because there's so many jobs out there for Canadians, right? What he failed to mention the fact that the jobs created were retail jobs just before Christmas, right? Retail jobs that pay maybe $12-16 an hour. And then everyone's dismissed there after Christmas to get rid of the Christmas rush, because there's still a few Canadians out there that do have spending power to go out and to buy things. They have secure jobs, secure pensions. A lot of their debt has been paid off, or they don't have any debt. Yet us plebes, us little peasants here, oh yes, of course, who have to sit and work all the time, pay this, pay that, pay taxes, ridiculous effing taxes for the greater good. So Mr. Carney can sit in Switzerland and talk about diversification. Oh, and trading partners here, trading partners there. Now, I'll tell you what, Canada, how can we benefit from 49,000 Chinese EVs coming here? Now, wasn't it a big stink about 2 years ago they didn't want EVs here in Canada? Oh, but now we're going to do it? So we have to snub our friends in the States because Mr. Carney did not talk to Trump about a goddamn thing. There was no negotiations that happened. Okay? We saw the footage, the two times that he met him. He was kissing his butt, talking about the tie he wore. Okay? Saying he was a transitional president, what have you. What kind of deal did they come up with? We also saw the footage of him saying, who cares? I'm Mark Carney. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Okay? Regardless of how you personally feel about American politics or policies or who they have running the White House, that shouldn't fucking matter when it comes to trade, business, and commerce between two people that have been friends for the better part of 200 fucking years. Okay? Yes, there was the War of 1812. Oh, yes, there were certain border skirmishes during the Fenian raids. There might have been some animosity there back in 2001 when it came to certain individuals finger wagging about who's crossing the border where and here. But there wasn't total animosity, ladies and gentlemen. There was still friendship. There was still common courtesy and decency. And now the Carney liberals and the elbows up crowd, elbows up, look at me, I'm standing up for this country, are eating fucking crow. And don't you dare tell me, Boomer class or Gen X class that voted for this party, that you're doing well. If you're doing well, you've either have some inside information or you're really stingy. You eat out of a can every day and you save all your pennies, right? Or you've got some inside connections elsewhere where you can get ahead of the game. Or you're just lousy and you just steal from people. That's my logic, right? Now, what say you, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know in the comments if you can. Let me know in any comment. I just this whole NWO thing has just got poop written all over it. And it looks like we might have to eat it.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back to the Crusty Canuck podcast. That's right, 393, ladies and gentlemen. NWO, Pew Pews, and of course the WEF. Oh my God. If you like to hear it, see, ladies and gentlemen, please click like, subscribe, share this podcast, all of your social media platforms. Do not be shy. Let me know in the comments how you feel. Give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Comment, keep the algorithm going. Let us Canucks get our words out there too in a timely manner. So as I was saying, now Mr. Carney's in Switzerland, hobgobbling with all the other rich elites, all the other globalist bankers, and his buddies from back in the days when he was with Goldman Sachs, wheeling and stealing money as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. That's what comes down to money and control, which brings me to the whole pew-pew thing. GUNs, personal ownerships. Now, Mr. Gary Andesegari, I think his name is, Mr. Public Safety Minister, who has no fucking idea what it takes to actually acquire a firearm in this country, let alone, I don't think he's ever fired one in his life. Um, there should be emails out there to people about the handing in process. Now, let me tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to say give it up. I'm not going to say give in. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm not going to encourage anybody to do anything stupid or illegal. I'm not going to do anything to encourage people to get out there and be violent. But let's put some faith in the people at the CCFR. Let's put some faith in the people that are actually fighting for gun rights in this country. And let's put a real pickle in the ass of the individuals that really want to take things away from Canadians. Okay? It's been proven time and time again since the IOC of 2020, when Mr. Bill Blair stood up and took a stand because that crazy psycho bastard in Nova Scotia did those heinous things. And gun laws were changed drastically back in the 90s because of what that filthy creature Mark Lepine did to those poor girls at Polytechnic and back in Montreal in December of 1989. So the thing being, there's elected officials that sit in Parliament right now who don't want guys like me to own a pew-pew, or you to own a pew-pew, or anyone to have a pew-pew. Only just the military and the police should have them, right? Because that's public safety, even though there's tons of evidence that proves otherwise. From every major police service in this country, from Toronto to Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Montreal, St. John's, Newfoundland, frickin' Charlottetown, PEI of all places, saying private ownership is not the issue. They've displayed it. Every police chief association, every association that presented the federal government, that is not an issue with the crime in this country. The issue with gun violence in this country comes from the catch and release, the whole wokeisms, the whole justice ministers and justice and judges acting as activists rather than implementing the law in this country. So I tell you this right now, you take away every pew-pew from every individual citizen that has been responsible with his or her property, you're still going to have violence. You're still going to have gun issues. Okay? Australia keeps trying to implement that because their prime minister is just nothing but a crack baby who says it's about guns when it's actually about certain demographics and certain people, certain ideologies that are colliding with Western values. But they don't want to come across as some kind of phobic person or the big R. You know what I mean? The big R. It rhymes with pacifist, kind of. Anyhow, I'm not going to dwell into this. I'm not going to get angry and try to debate semantics with guys and girls who just don't want to see things for what they really are. Okay, but you, my audience, you see things for what they really are, and I appreciate that. And the more and more you listen to my show and other shows, to the likes of Frank P. Vaughan, to the likes of Moose and the Loose, to the likes of Northern Perspective, and especially my good friend Paul, who does Radio Reaction. He does a great show. He makes the title cards for me. So hats off to you, Paul. You're a great lad. Okay. Keep that in mind when it comes to getting information via Canada. The likes of me and other people too. Now, I'm not a news reporter. I'm not a journalist. I guess I could be in some weird way, but I'm just a commentator and I'm just a critic. All right, because I fought for this country. I spent 20 years serving this nation. And in a way, I guess I'm still technically serving, right? Letting you wonderful people know my point of view. And you can either take it for what it is or not take it for what it is. That's fine. That's up to you as the individual, as the listener, as the consumer. Just go ahead about your business. Anyway, carrying on with this podcast. So the whole issue with the pew-pews is this. Don't do anything stupid. Wait out. There are people out there fighting on our behalf, right? But I'll tell you this right now, there's a lot of people that I have personally spoken to that do work for law enforcement. And they're not going to budge. They're not going to force anything. They're not going to demand anything. You're not going to get a knock in your house in the middle of the night and hear these magic words. Hello, come on, we got your firearms here. We want them. Come on, let's go. Jawohl. Not going to be that. But mind you, that's the kind of the NWO mandate that our elected officials want to promote. I don't have any footage of Carney in China. I watched the news today watching Blarney Carney bullshit his way at the whole Davos thing, the whole World Economic Forum. And he fits right in there with their narratives, telling people like you and me what to do, how to live our lives so they can make the profit and we have to rely on government, right? The whole haves and have-nots, as Polyev said, the have-nots and have-yachts, right? And I want to say something, too, to all the liberal supporters out there that I've seen on my TikTok feed and especially my X feed, okay, that are kissing Carney's butt and praising him as the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread, okay? Take a look outside your city, okay? To all the Babcocks, to all the Vanniers, to all those individuals that have been doing nothing but wearing knee pads and kissing right up to the liberal ring. Take a look outside of your box, okay? Take a look outside in the rural areas. And I'm talking country. I'm not just talking, redneck and that kind of stuff. I'm talking take a drive on a Sunday or a Saturday or any given day outside of the city and look at every small town, how that operates. Doesn't matter if you're in BC, doesn't matter if you're in Yukon, Northwest Territories, La Belle Province, Quebec, East Coast, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and here in Alberta. Take a look at what people have to do. Okay? People in rural areas are not bigoted. They're not misogynists. They're not blatant R words. They're people. Just like people that pump your gas in the major cities. Just like people that serve you goddamn soft serve at any ice cream place. Or give you that great big taco you want at Taco Bell. Or people that guide your way into the bigger buildings. People. And I have dealt with numerous people over the years, whether they're from the country, whether they're from the city, whether they're from that city or from this city, whether they support that team or this team, whatever, okay? There's almost an unwilling but almost intentional arrogance there when it comes to city folk and country folk. Now, I live in a rural area. My wife and I have a beautiful home. I know because we put a lot of work into it. And we work for some great people, and we live in a great community of about 5,000 plus. So we're not really rural per se, but I've worked in rural areas and I've worked for rural people, and I've had no real issues with any of them. And guess what? Little secret, especially to all you SJWs out there, not one of them was racist. Oh, there I said it. Not one. And not one of them. Well, a few of them were a different color than me, too. Oh, shit. What's the world coming to? That's the diversity you wanted. I've worked for black people. I've worked for Asian people. I've worked for Italian people. I've worked for Greek people. A couple of Portuguese individuals. I worked for a Danish lad laying gravel and laying patio stones there one summer. So I've had quite the diverse background when it comes from rural people. So when people make statements like that, whether it be on Threads or TikTok or what's that new one, the Blue Moon, I don't know. Anyway, on Facebook, on any social media platform, you better back it up with something a little more factual rather than just hearsay, okay? Because you think you're toting a virtue. Because we all know it's just a matter of you toting bullshit, trying to feel important when you've done fuck all. Right? And I'll just leave it at that. Right back after this.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 393 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. That's right. NWO, Pew Pews, and the WEF. All of these abbreviations, my God, telling us how to live. Just a reminder, too, if you like and hear what you see, ladies and gentlemen, please click like, subscribe. Share this podcast all over your social media platforms. Do not be shy. Give me some comments. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know you're out there, too. Spread this all over the place. Let the algorithm work for us for a change. Anyway, carrying with this episode, WEF. So Davos, all the big wigs are meeting in the world, all that good stuff, all these great rich peoples and great leaders and great thinkers, people that want to scam us over the climate catastrophe, the green scheme, you know what I mean? The green scheme. And they want to promise us paradise, right? Right. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without Mark Carney, being in China, right? Of course, Carney loves his China, doesn't he? Just like Trudeau did, Interesting, eh? Interesting indeed. Got to have China involved. Now, I'm not saying the Chinese people are terrible, but their leadership sucks. And I can just hear the commies cringing right now. Oh my God, how dare you say that? Yeah. Now, I don't think China is going to benefit us at all. I think they're going to dictate terms, really. Let's get 50,000 EV vehicles here. It's not really going to help Canada that much. It might give the consumers a choice, but I don't care how cheap they are or how they say they're efficient, because they're really not going to last through a Canadian winter. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, back to WEF. Now, I got a video here from Alexa Lavoie from Rebel News, and Ezra Levant is having a good chat with Justin. I'll just play this for you, ladies and gentlemen. You decide. It's really interesting how how nothing's really changed over the past year since Trudeau has left our beloved political spectrum. Just the smug SOB. Honestly, like, you guys listen to it and tell me how you feel. If you can watch the titles here, I can't expand this, but it's just really interesting, right? Look at him. He's standing there with Katy Perry, his new girlfriend or boyfriend, however she wants to operate. I really don't care. I think her music sucks, to be honest with you. I don't really think her music is beneficial to anything other than, half-ass sex appeal. But anyway, you two, or you, my wonderful audience, you listen up. Tell me how you feel.
Davos. No comment. How come you never comment? This is the spirit of dialogue. It's the name of the conference. How come you won't dialogue, Prime Minister?
You're not getting into the spirit of dialogue here. Look at that.
Who paid for you to come here? Was it taxpayers? What do you make of the Federal Court of Appeal upholding the ruling that your martial law was illegal? They said you violated.
It's good to see you, Ezra. It's been a long time. How you been? How you been keeping?
Pretty well, but you didn't speak to me.
I'm worried about you.
I don't think you have.
You stopped speaking to me after the boxing match. I never heard from you again.
That's not true. Every time we tried to come into contact with you, you had us arrested.
I never had you arrested.
You beat up my colleague David Menzies. Your bodyguards did. Your personal bodyguards beat up David Menzies.
The RCMP, the official police of Canada that you're speaking against?
Yeah.
Well,
I think you're
not going to trust our institutions, Ezra. There's a problem there.
I think our institutions have been weakened by you, to be quite candid.
That is your right to believe that and to feel that. And that's certainly something that you've continued to spread, people not trusting our institutions. A certain skepticism is important, but spreading of misinformation and disinformation is just...
Okay, right out of the playbook of yesteryear. Misinformation, disinformation. It's almost like he still thinks he's in fucking Parliament, for God's sakes.
Responsible. I think you know that, Ezra, but you've got a good little gig coming on. You've paid for all these people to come to Davos. I encourage you to continue to ask questions and challenge people, but to try and do it in a way that is grounded in facts and reality.
You've introduced more censorship.
Thank you very much.
A conversation is not you lecturing me. A conversation is a back and forth, not you just lecturing people. You misunderstood.
Your time lecturing and haranguing people and creating outrage. There's no need to...
you introduced more...
Okay, that's Rich, how he says, creating outrage. How much outrage did you create, Justin, during the convoy? How much outrage did you create when people were refusing the whole jibby jabs? How much outrage did you create? You told a veteran in February of 2018, a wounded veteran, that you're asking for more than they're able to give. You smug son of a bitch.
Censorship bills than any other kind of bill. You don't believe in free speech. C-63 and all your other bills are about squelching people who you disagree with.
Ezra, you continue to make your points, and you're more than welcome to.
So far, but not if you get your way.
Ezra, I think you know that.
I feel like you owe the Canadians an apology for...
Have a good day, sir.
You feel like you owe the world an apology for your behavior during COVID?
Have a good day, sir.
Is it bizarre not being able
to me? Please don't knock into me. I appreciate you.
Well, your security was just pushing us around before.
Of course.
He still gives selfies. You got to hand him that.
Yeah, he's got time for selfies, ladies and gentlemen. Always has time for selfies. I'll try to leave that link in the description there for you. But I mean, things don't really change, do they? Just one big shit sandwich after another, except, this prime minister, he might add a little more lettuce and tomato to it. Maybe a little more Miracle Whip, but it's still a poop sandwich. We all got to take a bite. I tell you, some people's kids, eh? Wow.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 393 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. That's right, NWO, Pew Pews, and the WEF. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Thank you for sticking around this long. And I want to say thank you out there again to all those individuals that have subscribed recently. Give me some good thumbs up. Thank you very much. You guys are wonderful. But keep liking and subscribing. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Well done. And all yous there too. Well done, everybody. And just keep our chins up. Now I'm going to conclude this with a little more sincerity. There's a song out there by a man called Jonathan Hulten or Hulten. I don't know if I pronounced it right or not. He's Swedish. He was a big metalhead, but he's got his own little format, his own little routine he does. And when you actually watch his videos, you know, I guess he's exploring his feminine side, whatever, but that doesn't bother me. What really intrigues me is this man's lyrics and the passion he has for his songs. And I'm going to include a song in this episode by Jonathan Hulten called "The Dream Was the Cure." Listen to the lyrics very carefully if you can. If not, print them off. But it's just a very, very folky but powerful song. Just sensical. It's just common sense. It's pragmatic. It's just a beautiful tune. I'll leave that. And of course, since the theme of this episode is basically New World Order, I'm going to put Ministries NWO on there too, as a rebuttal to George W. Bush's little statement he made back in 1990. Yeah, just prior to the first Gulf War, you know. So we'll think about that. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Anyhow, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 20th of January, 2026. I wish good things for you all out there too. If you feel like donating to the show, please donate. Links will be in the description for you. As always, with the kindness of your heart, I'm still working on the new format, new membership, and all that kind of stuff too. I'll just remind you all too, if you want a t-shirt, check out the links in my description. But if you want to help me out financially too, please donate $3 if you can. Everybody, and let's say I get enough people that donate $3 out of the month, I will draw your name for a free t-shirt. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the typical Crusty Canuck t-shirt. Black t-shirt with the logo and the saying, humanity, merit wins the day, that kind of thing. And if you donate $10 or more, I will draw your name at the end of the month, and you'll win a free t-shirt and a coffee mug from my store there. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Anyhow, like I said, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 20th of January, 2026. The year is starting off, I guess, mediocre. However, keep your heads up. Be realistic. Do your best to be kind to people. But stand your ground. Stand for what's right. Because there's more than just political warfare going on there. There's spiritual warfare. And to my religious friends out there who have to listen to this show, go with your light. Go with your gospel. Don't be cruel to people. If your religion says you must hurt and kill somebody, then I think you better get a new religion. That's just me, though. But like I say, ladies and gentlemen, look after your friends and loved ones. Keep your chin up. Do what you can. Help you out in these trying times. Be thoughtful. Be caring. Don't hit people and take their stuff. And like I always say, humanity and merit wins the day, folks. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.